Welcome, dear listener, to a peaceful and enchanting journey with the sleepy squirrel. As we enter the realm of this heartwarming story, allow yourself to let go of the cares of the day and drift into a world of tranquility. In this first chapter, we follow Sammy, the spirited squirrel, as he awakens to the beauty of spring and embraces the wisdom he gained during the restful winter. Sammy's journey is not just a tale of survival, but a gentle reminder of the harmony that can be found in nature's rhythms. As you listen, I invite you to find a comfortable position, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Let go of tension and worries, and allow the soothing narrative to guide you into a peaceful state of relaxation. Through the changing seasons, the forest, and Sammy, his experiences, where you find a sense of calm or connection with the world around you. Let the gentle flow of this story carry you into a serene and restful slumber. Now, let us begin our journey with Sammy, the sleepy squirrel. Chapter 4: The Awakening. As soon as spring arrived, Sammy began to look forward to each new day with enthusiasm. He felt revitalized and eager to welcome the season with open arms as he saw the world around him teeming with fresh life. A fundamental and encouraging change occurred in Sammy, his outlook as a result of this fresh start. The time for contemplation and solitude that winter had offered was over. With its kaleidoscope of foliage, flurry of life, and allure of uncharted territory, the forest beckoned to him. Nevertheless, Sammy had been profoundly affected by the lessons learned throughout the winter. His perspective on life and his role in nature had evolved. He approached each day with these new insights. The feeling of purpose that had previously permeated Sammy's life. The forest started to represent more than simply a playground to him. It was a community of interdependent creatures, and he started to perceive himself as part of it. Because of this insight, his experiences in the forest among its creatures were richer and more rewarding. As a result, he became more attuned to many environmental changes, such as flowers budding, leaves gently unfolding, and spider web patterns. The marvels that he may have disregarded before now filled him with reverence and astonishment. A new position within the woodland community was also thrust upon Sammy. He took it upon himself to guide the younger squirrels and teach them from his experiences. He instructed them to rest before winter, to make the most of each season's offerings, and to be ready for winter at all times. This new viewpoint also came a stronger feeling of duty. Sammy realized that his activities influenced the forest and its people. He became more attentive of how he acquired food, how he interacted with people, and how he handled his surroundings. The awakening of spring, therefore, was not just a physical awakening of the forest, but also a personal awakening for Sammy. He had emerged from the winter not just rested and rejuvenated, but also wiser and more connected to the world around him. As he scampered through the trees, his heart full of joy and his mind open to the lessons of the day, Sammy felt grateful for this new perspective. He looked forward to the adventures that lay ahead, ready to experience them with a deeper appreciation and understanding. As the forest fully embraced the warmth and vitality of spring, Sammy reveled in the season's joy and its joy and exuberance. Each day brought new discoveries and delights. The forest was alive with the sounds of chirping birds, rustling leaves, and the gentle buzz of insects. The air was fragrant with the scent of blossoms and fresh earth, a perfume that invigorated Sammy's senses. Sammy found immense joy in the simple pleasures of spring. He loved watching the flowers bloom, each petal unfolding like a story waiting to be told. He marveled at the butterflies flitting from blossom to blossom, their delicate wings like a tapestry of colors. The streams, now free from ice, bubbled and flowed. Their music is soothing backdrop to his daily explorations. This season of renewal was not just about the physical rebirth of the forest, but also a celebration of life itself. Sammy felt a deep connection to this cycle of renewal. He understood that life was an endless dance of growth, change, and rejuvenation, and he was a part of this beautiful rhythm. His days were filled with activities, but unlike the frenzied pace of the past, he approached them with a sense of meaningfulness and appreciation. He took time to savor each moment, whether he was gathering food, playing with his friends, or simply basking in the sun. Sammy's joy was contagious. His enthusiasm and appreciation for the beauty of spring spread to the other creatures of the forest. He inspired them to take a moment to appreciate their surroundings, to find happiness in the small wonders of the natural world. The joy of spring was a reminder to Sammy of the beauty and resilience of life. It reinforced the lessons he had learned during the winter, the importance of rest, the value of patience, and the need for balance. Spring was a time to celebrate these lessons, to live them fully, and to share them with others. Sammy ended each day tired but fulfilled. He felt a deep sense of gratitude for the wonders of spring. He fell asleep to the symphony of the forest, a heart full of happiness, and a soul nourished by the joy of the season. Amidst the vibrant life of spring, Sammy found a new purpose in sharing the knowledge and wisdom he had gained. His experiences through the winter had taught him valuable lessons, and he felt a strong desire to pass these on to the other creatures of the forest. Sammy became something of a mentor, especially to the younger squirrels. He organized gatherings where he shared stories of his adventures, the challenges he faced, and the lessons he learned. He spoke about the importance of preparing for winter, the need for rest and reflection, and how to embrace the natural rhythms of life. These gatherings were not just about imparting practical skills for survival, but were also a time for Sammy to share his insights on living a balanced and harmonious life. He talked about the joy of discovery, the beauty of patience, and the strength that comes from inner peace. His audience listened with rapt attention, their eyes wide with wonder and curiosity. Sammy's Stories were not just instructive, they were inspiring. He encouraged the younger squirrels to explore, to take risks, but also to be mindful and respectful of the forest and its inhabitants. Sammy's wisdom was not limited to his own kind. He shared his insights with the birds, the rabbits, and even the occasional curious fox. His message of harmony with nature resonated with many, and soon Sammy was known throughout the forest as a wise, kind-hearted squirrel. This role of a teacher and mentor was deeply fulfilling for Sammy. It gave him a sense of purpose and added that he saw the spark of understanding in the eyes of his listeners, and he knew that he was helping to shape a more mindful and connected generation of forest dwellers. Through sharing his knowledge, Sammy found that he too continued to learn and grow. Each interaction, each quest by his audience, provided him with new perspectives and deeper insights. As spring blossomed into full vibrancy, Sammy's gatherings became a cherished part of life in the forest. They were a place of learning, inspiration, and community, a testament to the power of sharing knowledge and experience. As spring unfolded in its full glory, Sammy experienced a surge of energy unlike any he had felt before. This energy was not just the physical vigor of a well-rested body. It was a deeper, more profound vitality that stemmed from this winter of introspection and growth. He felt rejuvenated in both body and spirit, ready to embrace the challenges and opportunities of the new season. Each morning, Sammy awoke with a zest for life. He immediately engaged in his daily activities, which now included not just foraging and exploring, but also his newfound role as a mentor and teacher. He approached these tasks with a sense of purpose and enthusiasm, driven by the desire to make the most of each day. Sana's rejuvenated energy was evident in his interactions with others. He was more present and attentive in his conversations, more enthusiastic in his play, and more generous in his assistance to others. His positive attitude was infectious, and he brought a sense of joy and vitality to the forest community. This new energy also inspired Sammy to take on challenges that he would have shied away from in the past. He explored new parts of the forest. Sammy's adventures were no longer solo endeavors. They often turned into communal activities. He invited others to join him, turning his explorations into opportunities for shared learning and bonding. These group adventures fostered a sense of camaraderie and teamwork among the forest inhabitants, strengthening the community bonds. The source of this rejuvenated energy was not just the physical rest that winter had provided, but also the mental and emotional growth he had undergone. Sammy had learned the importance of balancing activity with rest, exploration with reflection, and individual needs with the needs of the community. As the days grew longer and warmer, Sammy's energy did not wane. Instead, it evolved, maturing into a steady, sustainable force that fueled his actions and decisions. He had learned to harness this energy, channeling it in ways that were beneficial, not just for himself, but for the entire forest. This rejuvenation was a gift from the cycle of the seasons. a reminder that each phase of life, whether restful or active, plays a crucial role in our overall being. Sammy embraced this gift, using his energy to live a life full of purpose, joy, and contribution. As spring gave way to the lush abundance of summer, Sammy maintained a keen awareness of the cycles of nature. He knew that even in the midst of this vibrant season, it was essential to start preparing for the winter ahead. This time, his approach to these preparations was infused with the wisdom and insights he had gained over the past year. Sammy began by revisiting and reinforcing his nest. He strengthened its structure and made sure it was well insulated, understanding the importance of a secure and cozy home during the cold months. This task was not just a chore, it was a labor of love, a way of caring for himself and ensuring his well-being. Next, Sammy focused on gathering food. He remembered the challenges of the previous winter and knew that having a well-stocked food supply was crucial. However, his approach to gathering was now more mindful and efficient. He chose his food source carefully, focusing on nuts and seeds that were nutritious and would last through the winter. Sammy also took time to explore new areas of the forest, searching for additional food sources. This exploration was not just about finding food. It was also an opportunity to learn more about his environment and to connect with other creatures who might have knowledge to share. Throughout these preparations, Sammy kept in mind the lessons of balance and moderation. He made sure not to deplete any single source of food, understanding the importance of preserving the ecosystem. He also balanced his time between preparing for winter and enjoying the present moment, savoring the beauty and bounty of summer. In addition to his physical preparations, Sammy also continued to nurture the relationships he had built within the forest community. He shared his knowledge and resources, helping others with their preparations. These acts of kindness and cooperation strengthened the bonds of the community, creating a network of support and mutual care. As summer waned and the first hints of autumn appeared, Sammy felt a sense of calm and readiness. He had prepared well for the winter, both physically and mentally. He knew that the coming months would bring their challenges, but he also knew, that he was equipped to face them. The preparations for the next winter were not just about survival. They were about living in harmony with the cycles of nature. Sammy had embraced these cycles, learning to flow with them, to learn from them, and to find joy in each phase. As he looked out over the forest, now tinged with the golden hues of early autumn, Sammy felt a deep sense of gratitude. He was grateful for the lessons of the past year, for the growth he had experienced, and for the opportunity to continue this journey through the seasons. Chapter 5. The cycle continues. Sammy was in a contemplative frame of mind. I started to change color to a red of lights and golds. a sure indicator the fall was on the way. This last year has been an adventure in self-discovery, development, and change. As he sat at his favorite tree and watched the sun set, Sammy thought about everything that had happened over the years. The winter had taught him the importance of solitude and repose. He reflected, with its heavy snowfall and dark evenings, the excitement of seeing the woodland come to life, and the first indications of spring were all vivid in his memory. During the summer, he was able to spend more time with his friends and family, as well as improve his abilities and forge stronger ties to the forest community. There had been something new to learn and experience with each passing season. The calm of winter had given him room to develop inside. The emergence of spring had given him optimism and a sense of regeneration. And the richness of summer had given him the chance to share with others. Sammy saw parallels between his own life and his natural cycles. At various points in time, there was stillness and repose, reawakening and development, and activity and fellowship. He felt at peace and harmony after embracing these cycles. Gratitude was another emotion evoked by this contemplation. Sammy was grateful for the opportunities presented to him, the people he had met, and the knowledge he had acquired. He realized that life was a continuous journey with different stages, providing different experiences. I felt a profound connection to the earth. Around me as the sky darkened and the first stars revealed Sammy. His deep feeling of purpose, the satisfaction was fueled by the understanding that he was a part of this vast, magnificent circle of life. Sammy sought out the companionship of the older squirrel, Mr. Hawthorne, as the fall progressed, bringing with it shorter days and longer nights. Everyone in the forest looked up to Mr. Hawthorne, the oldest and most experienced squirrel, for his wisdom and expertise. They each had weathered his fall and moved slowly yet deliberately. Sammy bowed down to Mr. Hawthorne, who probed his mind. Life and its cycles were puzzling to him, and he was sure that Mr. Hawthorne could shed light on the subject. Mr. Hawthorne, Sammy said, sometimes I think about how life is a cycle and how the seasons change. Seasons come and go, as you have seen countless. How would you recommend that people learn to embrace these cycles? With sympathetic, perceptive eyes, Mr. Hawthorne observed Sammy. You have already learned a lot, Sammy, he said gently. Recognizing that all things are subject to change at all times is the source of all knowledge. Life grows stages just like the seasons, winter, spring, summer, and fall. He went on to say, appreciate the beauty and uniqueness of every season. Spring is a season of growth and rebirth. Summer is a time of activity and connection building. And fall is a time of harvesting and thankfulness, which teaches us to rest and reflect. You may learn something new from every season, and they're all vital. Sammy took in every word as he listened carefully. The key, Mr. Hawthorne said, is to be present in each moment, to embrace the here and now. This insight was a distillation of life's realities, based on Mr. Hawthorne. These years of living and watching. Every day and every season is a part of the priceless gift that is life. Treasure it. Take wisdom from it. And never forget to return the favor, just as the forest does for us. Over Sammy, a deep comprehension washed over him. The remarks of Mr. Hawthorne were quite meaningful. They gave me insight and solace. He came to understand that a seasonal voyage was about more than simply self-improvement. It was also about making a difference in the forest's life cycle. As Sammy said farewell to Mr. Hawthorne and departed, he felt a stronger connection to the environment. The thread in the exquisite, ever-evolving fabric of existence, he realized he was a part of something bigger. As the woodland got ready for winter in the middle of September, Sammy focused on the younger squirrels. The advice he had gotten from Mr. Hawthorne and others stuck with him, and felt obligated to share what he had learned. Similar to the meetings he had attended as a young squirrel, Sammy planned similar events for the younger squirrels. He recounted his travels and the wisdom he had gained from each season in his stories. Aside from teaching readers how to survive in the wild, his tales also taught them to respect the natural world and its rhythms. He instructed them on how to be ready for winter by revealing the greatest areas to gather food and how to preserve it, emphasizing the need of a secure and cozy house during the winter months. He showcased the skill of constructing a strong and cozy nest. But Sammy's lessons were about more than just staying alive. He emphasized the significance of community, a delight of discovery, and the need of rest and thought. He urged the young squirrels to go out and see the world, but warned them to be careful, not to harm the forest or its wildlife in the process. The classes taught by Sammy were lively and interesting. He planned educational and entertaining events like scavenger hunts and tree climbing competitions. The forest was both a home and a place of adventure, and he hoped the baby squirrels would grow up to value it as both. All eyes were on Sammy as the young squirrels admired and respected him. They looked up to him as an example of a man who had weathered life's storms and come out stronger and wiser. They carried the forest and its rhythms into their daily lives with the values instilled in them by Sammy. Sammy felt content as the air became cooler, the leaves dropped. The forest community benefited from his passing on knowledge to subsequent generations. The most essential thing, he thought, was about these baby squirrels would develop an appreciation and knowledge of nature. Sammy pondered the ebb and flow of life and death as the days became shorter and the cool of winter descended upon the woodland again. He came to see that this cycle was an essential part of being, not just a natural pattern. Over the course of the year, he had thoroughly embraced the rhythm. But last, Sammy doubted. In the same way that trees rest and lose their leaves throughout the winter to get ready for their rapid growth in spring, he had also learned the value of letting things go, of pausing to think and contemplate. All over the forest, This rhythm of life and death was plain to see. Everything from the earth to the animals to the plants lived in perfect harmony with this beat. Every stage of the natural process worked in perfect harmony with one another, enhancing the ecosystem as a whole. Important lessons had been imparted to Sammy by his own encounters with this cycle. Last, he had realized, was not a period of sloth or unfulfillment, but of vital maturation and rebirth. Prior to the active periods, there was a period for processing events, building strength, and being ready for the obstacles and possibilities that were ahead. Sammy was calm and prepared as winter drew near. He was psychologically and physically ready for the quiet period that lay ahead. He anticipated the winter's calm, the long nights of sleep and vivid dreams, and the personal development and new understandings that would accompany these times. A part of this cycle was Sammy's involvement in the forest. He also recognized the forest community benefited from his efforts during the active times, his connections with others, and his information sharing. In return, he felt a feeling of belonging and connection from the group, which sustained him throughout the peaceful times. All of the forest's residents benefited from the knowledge that the natural rhythm of life's ups and downs offered. Recognizing its importance for a well-rounded existence, Sammy gratefully accepted this cycle. With gratitude in his heart, Sammy gazed out at the woodland as the first snowflakes of the season fell. He was prepared to welcome winter's calming embrace, absorb its teachings, and usher in the next phase of life. A peaceful covering of snow fell over the woodland as winter descended, and Sammy frequently found himself lost in contemplation, wondering what kind of mark he would make. As a symbol of calm and knowledge in the forest, Sammy was lovingly called the then-legged squirrel, because he welcomed winter's nap. Through the ups and downs of each season, he had grown and changed, yet he effect on everyone around him, inspiring people to accept life's natural rhythms and discover harmony in the cycle of action and rest. He shared his experiences and insights. The duration is preparation, relaxation, and harmonious relationship with nature were some of the lessons he had taught others. Sammy came to the realization that his legacy included more than just the end of an era, and he rested in his worn nest to watch the snow slowly fall. He had been a role model for the younger generation, teaching them important life lessons and imparting wisdom that would ensure their success and the forest's continued health. For each, the values passed down included appreciating the natural world, maintaining a healthy work-life balance, and feeling connected to a purpose bigger than oneself. Knowing that his stay in the woods was only an epoch, Sammy was able to appreciate its significance. Life in the forest, like the changing of the seasons, was characterized by an endless cycle of transition. His legacy would endure in the forest and among people he had touched, thanks to his insight, contributions, and enthusiasm. Sammy had an overwhelming feeling of contentment as winter progressed and the evenings lengthened. An exciting, purposeful life had been lived by him. He had discovered happiness and serenity by submitting to the natural rhythms. The sleepy squirrel would live on as an example of the value of living in harmony with nature's cycles and rhythms, with his heart overflowing with thankfulness for the adventure he had completed. Sammy nestled up in his nest as the snow continued to fall, covering the landscape in a gentle beauty.